black man in
the blackest man in Russia,
Moscow.
I ain't seen one yet, bro. I just want one I like.
Because I think he was. Ruski. There. Da.
Amerikan sniper. Afrika.
Da.
Afrika.
Hup.
100-pound scallop, bro. Come on.
£100.
Chicken scallop.
Performance food.
Extra mushrooms. 100 quid. Happy as I can be, bro.
Aiden's had to spend money.
Spending £100, bro. Happy as I can be.
Meanwhile, Matty's on the egg Benedict.
That's the trap breakfast. That's the Matty breakfast.
It's the Jesus, he has gone in there. What we got?
Now, this might look like I'm just, undisciplined and stuff like that, but what I'm really doing, staying in shape in case my opponent falls out. I'm really stepping out everywhere.
What's the weight? 265 limit.
They might have to do a bit of cardio and stuff, but I think I'm going to make the limit, bro.
Aiden on the water.
Yo,
What do you think of the meal
food,
prep?
bro? Come on. Call me Bugs Bunny. Come on.
Wait, I feel like I'm going to fall off.
But I need to stand out because I'm the fight.
Yeah, you got to look aside, Aiden. That's it. Look, there you go. That's it. Less intense eyes. More smoky.
Tucking the strings coming out a little bit. Look at me. Push that toe towards the corner a little more. Yeah, very good. Yep. And then you back there. Great. That's better. The punch is coming at me. Just a little more. Yeah.
There you
Now
go.
lock it and push towards me. Yeah, there you go. Just a bit. Look right there. Perfect. Put it right here. Yeah, do a little short. Do a little lighter thing.
That chopping knockout punch. There.
Stop it halfway. That's great. Make it a little mini. Sorry. Trying to get me in. Yeah.
How's he looking? Yeah, that's quality, isn't it? There we go. I like the smile. Oh, they got a bag and everything.
You got Max in that, bro.
Oh, why are we coming down here?
Why you got a workout room?
Yeah, that's a hot one, that is, bro. Russian sword and style. Come on. There you go, that's your following. Use your measures, use your lead hand. That's it, good. Big shots, big shots. 3, 2, 1, and time. Good job, Aiden. Solid, mate.
First of all, we've got a Russian honey cake. That's fine. Then we've got a cheese.
2 cakes, Aiden. Matty.
I've got to eat for you as well, bro.
We got a sushi roll. We have bread.
No, I'm not even. That's not even for me.
Double soda.
That's fine. That's fine.
And
Mixed grill was gonna be bigger though, to be fair.
we have a mixed grill.
No.
Wait, is that you then?
It's a veggie sushi, mate. Veggie sushi. Aiden unfortunately has a.
I feel it for him, I really do.
Yeah, as I eat my sushi, I feel I'm a bit intimidated. He's bouncing.
Bro, I've had this same outfit for 3 days, bro.
So what's the story? You've look, you got lost. We didn't want to talk about it before now because it was too sensitive.
Touchy subject, bro.
Mate, he's been in the same
This is what
clothing.
for 3 days, bro.
Multiple training sessions.
Sauna and everything, bro.
Same shot.
Oh, man. I had to do the get ready the boxes, bro. Put the box. The boxes are too grim.
You got a burn after that.
Yeah.
You can't take them over, bro.
Mate,
Let's take a rush
I have to keep my composure when I hit the lobby, bro. Like I want to run to my truck.
Give her a big hug.
Innit? Oh, shit.
Okay, imagine if it's the wrong one. See the moment of joy. He's not here.
That's not funny.
Oh my god. Look at him, they had you there.
Playing games, you know.
Retrieved.
Thank you very much. Oh my gosh, I feel like I found a child.
This is it. We're gonna win the fight now. This is destiny. It's back on.
Bro.
How you feeling, Aiden?
Yeah, ready to smash, ready to smash.
Trying to have a little blast in a sauna. So he's got 24 hours. He's done good, man. He's come down, brought it down nice. Had some weird prep meals from Russia and not the most appetizing. I think that's helped him make the weight. So he'll probably just come in here later after maybe a little bit of pads, and then he's got I think weighing at 9 AM tomorrow is the official weighing, and then the ceremonial weighing in the evening. So all on track, and oh, it's hot in here, Jesus. That's good. Level change 5 for it. That's it. Good. That's it. Change to the 1. That's it. Change. Good. Change. One, two. Do you rate it now?
Performance food.
I want a food review on this.
Yeah.
So we have the egg pudding.
Nah. Look at it, bro.
What do you think? Out of 10.
Solid 2.
Just give that a little play. What's in it?
It's got a bit of celery, got a bit of cucumber, got a bit of possibly chicken, whatever that is, pepper, something, and yeah, it is dead.
I feel like there's no need for that piece of meat in there.
Isn't it, brother? Why is there just one piece of chicken in there?
Hello and welcome to Pro Striking, as per usual. So what happened yesterday, because today's fight day, and I'll probably put this in some sort of vlog, is Aiden missed weight for his fight by 1.5 pounds. So about 0.6 kilo, 0.7 kilo. For me, I found this really frustrating and I felt quite responsible for it. Hold on, I'm just going to close the window in case the sound is a bit off. Yeah, that's Russia, Moscow. So what happened was he's not going to want to say this, and I've not wanted to talk about it with him today because obviously it was a stressful experience and he needs to focus on the fight at hand, and the fight's obviously still taking place because it was a small amount of weight. But to go long story, about probably 5 weeks ago, he mentioned that he might try and take this as a catch weight. He suggested 150 pounds for the bout because Aiden had a bout of sepsis around 12 weeks ago. So after the Pico fight, he got back into training. I'm not too sure on the time frames of that. I think that was around June. So maybe around August, he came down with a bout of sepsis in his neck, and it was pretty bad. He didn't know what happened. One of his friends, shout out Sophia, ended up taking him to the hospital, and he spent about 4 days on a drip and obviously having to rehydrate and everything. It was pretty bad, and it was brought on by cellulitis in his neck, and he wasn't aware he had it. He probably had it for quite some time, and he'd had this pain in his neck, and then one day it just started ballooning up, swelling up, and he ended up in hospital with it. A couple of weeks out of the gym, due to this, like recovering from this, basically bring his weight down, because in 2 weeks he ballooned up a bit. So I'm not sure his exact weight, but he was heavy. Also, his fight with Pico, he said that was quite a difficult cut for him, especially with it being international and lots of travelling. He found like coming down to 145 quite difficult. He's a big lad, and it's not an easy cut for him. He's 26, I think, so he's coming into his physical prime in the next few years. So he's actually thought about going up a weight to lightweight. Personally, I think he can do 145. He probably has to rein things in a little bit outside of camp, and more so with his eating rather than his training. He trains all the time, but he does love his food outside of camp, so I think that is definitely a contributing factor. But he's took the fight knowing he was quite heavy, asked for a catch weight. They've said no. So he's grafted, he's done everything right, he's done all his nutrition, he's done his meal preps, he's taken advice from other people, and he's got himself right down to weight. He's done this before himself. He's never missed weight. He's had 15 pro fights and quite a lot of amateurs, and he's never missed weight in all those experiences. So this one, he's come in normal. He's even tracked everything he did for the Pico fight, and he was bang on point. He was ready to go. The last 24 hours, usually, if you've got a morning weigh-in, you've got two choices. You either do it the night before and basically try and sleep a bit dehydrated, and then you can wake up and walk straight onto the scales, or you wake up really early and cut the weight first thing in the morning. So you're talking like maybe 6 a.m, getting your cut going then, and then get down to the scales for 9. He's opted to do a little bit the night before. So we've done a workout. We've got some pads, which I got that on video, and then did a little bit of sauna. We only did about 40 minutes in and out, you know what I mean? Nothing crazy, nice and slow. And I think he was 151 going to bed that night. So that's not too bad. It's more than a probably odd one him to cut, but that leaves him about 2.5 to 3 kilos. Obviously, you float a little bit overnight to do in the morning. In hindsight now, I would have made him do all the cutting the night before. That's how I always did it myself when I was fighting in China, and how me and a lot of the lads did it. How I did it with Rico for his fight on Cage Warriors. And I think that is the way forward. If you're weighing in early at like 9 a.m, I think it's better to just do that. Go to bed a bit later, you know, cut the weight from maybe like 8 or 9 p.m. up until about 11 p.m. Go to bed and then, you know, wake up and, you know, not have nothing to do in the morning. Literally get out of bed and jump on the scale. But he didn't do that, and obviously with hindsight, it's a beautiful thing. We went this approach, and the way I looked at it, when we got down about 7 a.m, 7:30. Aiden didn't sleep very well anyway. So he woke up in the morning at 4 a.m, and because he was so like tired and frustrated, he ended up just jumping in the bath and doing a little bit anyway. I'm not sure how much he had to cut then, but we went down to the sauna area early. They obviously had to turn it on so it wasn't peak hotness. This is another issue that fighters encounter. It wasn't at its full temperature. It wasn't even that hot in there, to be honest. From the bathroom scales we had to use downstairs in the sauna area, which was on the bottom floor, where the weighing area is on ground 2, which to get the lift up and down, was a bit off. So in the end, before we went up, I think he was 149 or 148 on the scales downstairs. So we thought he might be on. So we've taken him up with half an hour to go on the time. And he was 2 pounds over on those scales. And these are the check-in scales, not the official scales. We've got another half an hour, and I'm like, okay, this is a push now. In my head, I'm like, I don't think he's going to make weight. He's basically got 2 pounds to lose in half an hour. We went downstairs, and where we were doing like quite slow, you know, like he was going in the sauna before, cutting a little bit for maybe 5 or 6 minutes, then doing tower ups for 10, 15 minutes. In hindsight, we did this way too slow, and we should have just blasted him in the sauna. And just, made him sweat more. But yeah, I'm always very sensitive, especially as a person now. I've worked with Aiden a bit, I've known him for a while, but he's not like, I don't feel like a head coach at times. You know, I've not raised him from scratch, you know what I mean? So I haven't not got that necessarily rapport with Aiden where I can start bossing him around. And making things more stressful, I'm always quite careful to do that. Whereas now I wish, you know, I'd just basically been the adult in the room and just made him. Because that's what I did when we came back down. I said, right, we've got half an hour now, mate. No fucking around. Get in the sauna now. We've got to try and make this weight. Locked him in there. You know, I says to Matt, he put it on for 5 minutes from Aiden's psychological well-being, and said, you come out after 5 minutes, you have a minute off, then we're back in. But I kept him in there for 6 or 7 because I needed him to sweat. And he was sweating great. And obviously we're running out of time looking at the clock. The blokes come down to collect us. We had literally like 5 minutes to go, 4 minutes to go. So we've gone upstairs, and you know, we've got him in a dressing gown. He's naked at this point. You know, he's not in a good way in terms of, you know, he's depleted. It's not the worst I've ever seen a cut. And out of 10, Aiden said he was about a 7, and he was still sweating really well. But he's still going to feel depleted. He lost a lot of weight over the course of the last week, and he's got no carbs in his system, getting lightheaded. So, you know, I'm just very careful, and, you know, always monitoring his well-being. So anyway, we've got upstairs. He's got to go straight on the official scales, but usually, because he's like soaking wet still, I was like, just bear with me for a minute, you know what I mean? He looks like Christ reincarnated, or like an Arab sheikh. He was in a dressing gown, towels around his head, towels underneath him to try and like dry him off obviously, and just keep him warm as we're coming up to the scales, just to get as much moisture off him as possible. The commissioner starts screaming at us, get on the scale now, get on it in what you're wearing. I'm like, hold on a minute, mate, he's in a dressing gown, he's going to be about 155 instead of 145 if we put him on now. Just let us get him changed. He's obviously naked as well, so I'm trying to dry. No naked, put shorts on, put clothes on now. I'm like, well, he's going to be heavy, he's going to be heavy, we need to have as little on as possible. No naked, put your clothes on now. And he's literally speaking to us in this tone. I'm quite disgusted, trying to be as nice as possible. Aiden's obviously being tetchy. He's not saying anything, but you know, I can feel his energy. I'm trying to be as polite as possible to try and buy us some time. And then the commissioner said, we put the shorts on him, fight shorts on him. I don't know what they weighed, so I couldn't say if he would have been on weight if he didn't have them. But he was also soaking wet. I'm trying to dry his legs off. I'm trying to dry his back off. The commissioner's rushing him on. Get on the scale now. Get on the scale now. And, you know, he's got on the scale. And then we're trying to say, like, can we not weigh naked after? Just get on and we'll take your attempt, he said. And he kind of misled Aiden to believe that he would get on the scale, and if he was over, get back off again. And then we'd be able to dry him down, get him naked, and then he could step on again. And hopefully, obviously, be a little bit lighter without the shorts and a little bit dry. No. He steps on the scale, and the commissioner took that as his final weight, 147.5. And for me, after what we'd been through, you know, like, it was just really disappointing. And I pride myself on, you know, I've had 70 fights, never missed weight. My missus, she's had like 40 plus fights, never missed weight. Most of my fighters, I mean, I can't even remember any of my fighters ever missing weight. And Aiden, in my opinion, we could have done things better. And I take responsibility on that. On my part, I should have just been the adult in the room. But just be a part of that and watch him graft all week and do everything right. You know, he didn't cheat it. And then just to kind of feel like a little bit cheated at the last second was really frustrating and sad. And I feel like whoever that commissioner is, an American guy, so he wasn't Russian, he was an American guy that had been brought over for this. Well, I can't mince my words, mate. You're a fucking wanker. You are a twat. And to speak to someone when they're on death's door, man, cutting weight like that, and to speak to him in that tone and just put him on. I mean, even if he hadn't made weight, I'm not saying he would have took the shorts off and made weight, but 146.5 sounds better than 147.5. And put it this way, I don't know how much Aiden's getting paid. I've not talked those details through with him. I don't know his exact purse, but he's getting charged 30% of it. And I'm assuming that's going to be a few £1,000 at least. So for the sake of just taking a minute to dry him off and put some different not even take his shorts off and let him weigh naked, you know, it's a few grand, man. And a blemish on his resume as missing weight. So I just feel like it wasn't fair to not give him that chance. And it was disappointing, man. So it's not going to affect the fight. We've put it behind us. It's fight day now. We've had breakfast together. I haven't filmed as much purely for the reason that I want Aiden to not be focusing on the weight cut, basically, and what happened then. He's focused on fight day. So I'll get some footage throughout the day, and obviously I'll mince this into some sort of vlog. But yeah, I thought I'd better give like a press release to the probably 50 people that watch this video. But I've had some really nice messages from people on Instagram and obviously the various social media platforms, you know, wishing Aiden the best. And he really is a good lad. And I hope that he does the job. If he doesn't win, he just puts on a great performance because he's a really skilled athlete and he's had some tough matchups in his career. And I think this is one where it's a favourable style for him. I think he can do really well. And I'm hoping that, you know, the hard work he's put in pays off on this one. And yeah, as always, I'll catch you later, man. Oosh.
Capitalize on it.
Our historic night in Moscow.
Our third man in the ring will be our referee, Kevin McDonald.
Straight. Left hand to the body. Ostrov's going to be a problem for anybody in the featherweight division.
Guys, who did that better?
How many times he did it? And by Ostrov, and you're looking with the counter. Those counters, if he allows... Oh, that was a clean left hand by Aiden Lee. Oh, that was a clean left hand.
A jab because he can't reach it with his jab.
He's going to change some of his attacks and come up the middle.
There's another one. Now he's throwing the combinations for the first time in Leah.
Oh, that's
again.
Right off the back of the ear.
And immediately Aiden Lee.
That is deep right now. Ostrov, he's going to go out.
Lots of drop taps.
Jitsu showed his skill.
Aiden Lee.
Heavyweight champion in the co-main event, one of the most dominant fighters in Bellator history is really.
Oh, he clipped him then, you know. Oh, mate, he's gone. Yes, Jai. Let's go, Jai.
2 out of 2. 2 out of 2.
2 out of 2, bro. There you go.
Come on.
Yes, Jai.
Come on. Fucking bad, man. Come on.